Dun 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 dun. Little pig, let me in.
Negan Smith is more than just a character. He is a master of survival, leadership, and influence. This video isn't about instant gratification or a quick dopamine hit. This is about real, lasting value. It's about real, lasting value. Stick with us, and by the end, you'll have the tools to turn any situation in your favor, just like Negan.
Pissing our pants yet?
Consistently seen with an object is bad Lucille. When someone is frequently seen with a particular object, like a bat, it often suggests that the object holds some significance to them. They could have the bat for symbolism or sentimental value. Symbolism. The object could symbolize something important to them, like strength, protection, or a connection to a particular hobby or interest. Sentimental value. The object might hold sentimental value, perhaps it was a gift or has a connection to a significant memory or person. Negan has the bat for sentimental value. Lucille isn't just a weapon for Negan. She's a symbol of his loss, his grief, and his twisted sense of loyalty and protection. In the series, Negan often speaks to Lucille as if she were a person, a manifestation of his inner thoughts and feelings. He reminisces about his wife, revealing that she was the one who had cancer before the apocalypse and that the bat was wrapped in barbed wire as a means of protection in their troubled world. The sentimental value Negan places on Lucille speaks volumes about his character. Despite his brutal exterior and the atrocities he's committed, there's a vulnerable side to him that is deeply attached to memories of his wife and the life they once had together. Lucille becomes a talisman of sorts, a reminder of his past, and perhaps a distorted attempt at holding onto humanity in a world gone mad.
Oh my.
Gives his object for someone to hold. Trust. This entrusting someone with something valuable to them, the giver is demonstrating trust in the receipt. It indicates a level of confidence in the other person, responsibility, and care. Bonding. Sharing meaningful objects can strengthen bonds between individuals. It creates a shared experience and can enhance feelings of closeness and camaraderie.
People are a resource. People are the foundation of what we are building here!
Value for human life. Negan's philosophy of people are a resource may seem callous and utilitarian on the surface, especially considering his brutal methods of enforcing it, such as the use of fear and violence. However, within the context of his character, there are instances where he does demonstrate a twisted sort of value for human life. The Sanctuary, Negan's stronghold. The Sanctuary operates under a strict set of rules that, in his mind, are designed to maintain order and protect the community. While his methods are ruthless, he does provide for those under his rule, offering them a semblance of safety and sustenance in a world overrun by zombies. Rules and order. Negan's system, although harsh, has rules. He punishes those who break the rules.
Unacceptable behavior. Rape is against the rules here. I wouldn't want to be somewhere where it wasn't. You really crossed the line here. I'm sorry, sir. You know what? I do not accept your apology.
in front of everybody sometimes, often in brutal ways, but he also rewards those who follow them. This structure, flawed as it may be, provides a sense of order in an otherwise chaotic world. The Saviors. Negan sees himself as the protector of his people, the Saviors, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to ensure their survival. While his methods are extreme and often involve sacrificing individuals for the greater good of the group, he believes that this is necessary for their continued existence. Selective mercy. Negan occasionally shows mercy, applied in his own twisted way. He sometimes gives people a chance to prove their worth or redeem themselves, even if it means subjecting them to his brutal brand of justice first. This suggests that he does see potential value in individual, even if he's willing to sacrifice them when necessary. While Negan's actions may not align with traditional notions of valuing human life, his philosophy of people are a resource underscores his belief in the importance of maintaining a community and ensuring its survival, even if it means resorting to extreme measures.
You are so gonna regret crossing me in a few minutes.
Cocky smile. A cocky smile typically conveys confidence, self assurance, and a hint of arrogance or cheekiness. You can achieve such a smile with confidence. Stand tall with good posture, maintain eye contact. Confidence in your demeanor will naturally reflect in your smile. Instead of a broad grin, opt for a subtle smirk or half smile. This can convey a sense of knowingness or self assurance. Slightly raise one or both eyebrows while smiling to add a touch of cockiness or playfulness to your expression. Tilt your head slightly to one side while smiling. This can create a relaxed and confident appearance. Curl one corner of your mouth upward into a half smile while keeping the rest of your face relaxed. This can give the expression of smugness or confidence. Body language. Accompany your smile with confident body language, such as standing with your hands on your hips or casually leaning against a surface. Remember to strike a balance with your expression. Practice in front of a mirror to find the right level of cockiness that suits your personality and the situation.
You are so gonna regret crossing me in a few minutes.
Retribution. Retribution is a concept deeply rooted in human psychology and social behavior. It refers to the act of seeking revenge or punishment against someone for perceiving wrongdoing or harm caused. Retribution is often driven by a desire for justice or reparation, where individuals believe that the offender should suffer consequences proportional to their action. In context of the statement, you are so gonna regret crossing me in a few minutes, there's a clear implication of retribution. The person making the statement is warning the other individual that they will face negative consequences for their action, suggesting that they will seek revenge or inflict punishment in response to feeling wronged or offended. Retribution can take various forms, ranging from verbal threats and intimidation to physical aggression or more subtle forms of harm, such as social ostracism or sabotage. It is often fueled by emotions such as anger, resentment, or a desire to restore one's sense of justice or honor. However, it's important to note that retribution can perpetuate cycles of conflict and harm, leading to further retaliation and escalation of tensions. That's where Law 15 comes in. Crush your enemy totally. All great leaders since Moses have known that a feared enemy must be crushed completely. Sometimes they have learned this the hard way. If one ember is left alight, No matter how dimly it smolders, a fire will eventually break out. More is lost through stopping halfway than through total annihilation. The enemy will recover and will seek revenge. Crush him not only in body but in spirit, which is what Negan did in this scene with Rick.
Please, it could be me. Please.
Two!
Please, no, dude.
Speak when you're spoken to! You answer to me. You provide for me.
Provide for you.
You belong to me. Right. That is the look I wanted to see.
He crushed his spirit, but he recovered and sought revenge. Comment, I need Law 15 breakdown for an extensive breakdown of the law.
So even if you're stupid, which you very may well be, you can understand it. You ready? Here goes. Pay attention.
Mentally preparing and getting full engagement. Preparation cue. You ready? Serves as a preparation cue, prompting the listener to mentally prepare for what follows. In psychology, preparation cues are signals that alert individuals to upcoming events or actions, allowing them to adjust their cognitive or behavioral readiness accordingly. Initiation prompt. Here goes. Function as an initiation prompt, signaling the start of an action or communication. Initiation prompts help structure interactions by marking transitions between different phases or elements of conversation or activity. Attentional directive. Pay attention. Act as an attentional directive, instructing the listener to focus their cognitive resources on the forthcoming information or activity. Attentional directives play a crucial role in directing and maintaining attention, ensuring that individuals allocate their mental resources appropriately to relevant stimuli. Together, these concepts illustrate how language and communication strategies are used to manage interpersonal interactions, guide behavior, and facilitate information processing in psychology.
Give me your shit, or I will kill you.
Coercion. Give me your shit or I will kill you. Typically indicates an extremely threatening situation where the speaker is demanding something from the listener under the threat of violence or harm. This statement is a form of coercion, where the threat of violence is used to compel the listener to act against their will. Coercion can take various forms, not just through direct threats or harm. Here are some other forms of coercion to be aware of. Emotional manipulation. This involves using emotions such as guilt, fear, or love to manipulate someone into doing what the coercer wants. For example, if you really cared about me, you would do this for me. Social pressure. Coercion can occur through social dynamics such as peer pressure or societal norms. For instance, everyone else is doing it, so you should too. Economical coercion. This involves leveraging someone's financial situation or economic dependence to coerce them into certain actions. For example, threatening to withhold financial support or resources unless the person complies. Psychological coercion. This includes tactics such as gaslighting, where the coercer undermines the victim's perception of reality or self worth to gain compliance. For instance, you're overreacting, nothing bad will happen if you do what I want. Threats of reprisal. Coercion can involve threats of retaliation against the victim or their loved ones if they don't comply. For example, if you don't do what I say, I'll make sure your family pays for it. Manipulative persuasion. This involves using deception or misleading tactics to persuade someone to act against their own interest. For example, promising rewards or benefits that are unlikely to materialize. Isolation. Coercers may isolate their victims from support networks or source of assistance to make them more vulnerable to manipulate. For example, don't talk to anyone about this or else. Sexual coercion. This involves using pressure, manipulation, or threats to force someone into sexual activity against their will. It can include tactics like guilt tripping, verbal abuse, or physical force. Recognizing these forms of coercion is crucial for protecting oneself and others from manipulative or abusive behavior.
Now I know that is a mighty big, nasty pill to swallow. But swallow it. You most certainly will.
Acceptance. Acceptance involves acknowledging and embracing reality even when it's difficult or unpleasant. The statement emphasizes the inevitability of facing the challenge, suggesting that acceptance is necessary for moving forward. A mighty big nasty pill to swallow. This phrase metaphorically represents something difficult or unpleasant or burdensome to accept or come to terms with. It implies that the situation or task is not easy to handle and may evoke negative emotions or discomfort. Swallow it, you most certainly will. This phrase asserts that despite the difficulty, the person will inevitably have to accept or deal with the situation. It emphasizing the inevitability of facing the challenge, suggesting that avoidance or denial is not an option. Overall, this statement acknowledges the unpleasantness or challenge of a situation while also conveying a sense of determination or resilience. It encourages acceptance and readiness to confront difficulties head on, even if they are uncomfortable or unwelcome.
You thought you were safe. I get it. The word is out. You are not safe. Not even close.
Wake up call. You thought you were safe, but you are not safe. Not even close. It typically conveys a sense of threat or danger. Let's break it down. You thought you were safe. This phrase indicates that the person being addressed believed they were in a secure or protected position. It suggests a feeling of comfort or confidence in their safety. But you are not safe, not even close. This phrase negates the previous assumption of safety and emphasizes that the person is actually in a vulnerable or precarious situation. It suggests that the threat or danger they are facing is much closer or more significant than they realize. This statement is a warning or wake up call indicating that the person's sense of security is misplaced and that they are actually in a perilous situation. It may imply that they need to take immediate action to protect themselves or address the threat they are facing.
This is your way of life now. The more you fight back, the harder it will be.
Acceptance, too. This suggests that the person is informing someone of a significant change or circumstance that they must accept as their new reality. This is your way of life now. This phrase indicates that a particular situation or condition has become a permanent or long term aspect of the person's life. It implies that they must adjust to this new reality and integrate it into their daily existence. The more you fight back, the harder it will be. This phrase suggests that resistance or opposition to the situation will only make it more difficult for the person to adapt or cope. It implies that acceptance or compliance may lead to an easier or smoother adjustment process. This is a way of life now. The more you fight back, the harder it will be. This statement conveys a sense of inevitability and advises against resistance or rebellion. It may be delivered with a tone of resignation warning, or even coercion.
So if someone knocks on your door, you let us in. We own that door. You try to stop us, and we will knock it down.
Dominance and control. When someone says, if someone knocks on your door, you let us in. We own that door. You try to stop us, and we will knock it down. It carries a strong sense of authority and possibly intimidation. If someone knocks on your door, you let us in. The statement implies that the person or group speaking expects unquestioned access to the premises. It suggests a claim of ownership or control over the space and demands compliance with their request for entry. We own that door. This phrase reinforces the sense of control and authority assessed by the speaker. It suggests that the person or group has power over the property or the right to assess it at their discretion. You try to stop us and we will knock it down. This part of the statement is a threat of forceful entry. It warns that any resistance or attempt to prevent access will be met with aggressive action, such as breaking down the door. Overall, this statement conveys a clear message of dominance and control. It implies that the person or group speaking expects full compliance with their demand and is prepared to use force if necessary to achieve their objectives.
What? No answer? I don't want to kill you people. Just want to make that clear from the get-go. I want you to work for me. You can't do that if you're dead, now can you?
Power dynamics. This statement suggests a mix of intimidation, coercion, and manipulation. I don't want to kill you people. Just want to make that clear from the get go. This part serves as a disclaimer or warning, indicating that the speaker is not initially intending to cause harm or violence. However, the inclusion of such a statement can also have an unsettling effect as it implies that violence is a possibility. I want you to work for me. This is the primary demand of the speaker. They are expressing their desire for the individuals they are addressing to become their employees or subordinates. You can't do that if you're dead now, can you? This part of the statement reinforces the idea that compliance with the speaker's demand is necessary for survival. It implies that refusing to work for the speaker would lead to dire consequences such as death. This entire statement conveys a sense of power dynamics where the speaker is assessing control over the individuals and attempting to coerce them into working for them through a combination of intimidation and manipulation.
This is Lucille, and she is awesome.
Personalization, naming an object, animal, or in this case a bat, referring to it using a specific gender like she, is a common personalization behavior. It suggests that the person has attributed human-like qualities or characteristics to the bat, such as a personality trait or emotions, by giving it a name and assigning it a gender. Assigning a gender to an object or animal can be a way of individuals to relate to it on the more personal level. Personalizing it to make it more familiar or relatable. It can also reflect the emotional connection or attachment that the person feels towards the bat, ascribing qualities of care and affection typically associated with human relationships. Eyebrow flash. Eyebrow arching or flashing conveys excitement, such as when greeting a close friend or the recognition of something pleasing. We arch our brows in less than 1/5 of a second. It is a gravity defying behavior as it is performed in an upward direction, and as with most gravity defying behaviors, it signifies something positive. A happy eyebrow flash can be immensely useful and powerful in everyday situations, both at home and at work.
But I'm gonna kill you. Jesus.
Gaze superiority. All over the world, studies have shown that high status individuals engage in more eye contact while both speaking and listening. Less powerful people tend to make more eye contact with these high status individuals while listening, but less while speaking. In Japan, as well as other Asian Pacific countries, this is even more pronounced. Incidentally, we tend to favor individuals who make direct eye contact with us, especially if they are of high status. Eye contact from high social status individual, movie stars for instance, makes us feel valued.
Don't. All right, listen. Don't any of you do that again. I will shut that shit down, no exceptions.
Authority and consequences. Listen, don't any of you do that again. I will shut that shit down. No exceptions. It's a stern warning or threat issued to a group of people. Listen. This serves as a command to ensure the listeners pay attention to what follows. Don't any of you do that again. This is a directive not to repeat a certain behavior or action. The speaker is making it clear that they disapprove of whatever occurred previously and expect it to stop immediately. I will shut that shit down. No exceptions. This is a threat of consequences if the behavior continues. The speaker is asserting their authority and willingness to take action to stop the behavior regardless of any excuses or justifications. This statement communicates a strong message of authority and consequence. It's meant to deter future undesirable actions by making it clear that there will be repercussions for disobedience.